So, as I have told, in this lecture, we will discuss about MAC and RLC sub layers of layer 2 protocol architecture. Here, the functions of MAC layer and functions of RLC layers we are going to discuss first. What are the functions of MAC layer? You can see it performs the multiplexing and demultiplexing of the logical channels onto the transport channels. So when it is going out from that is at the transmitter end, it does multiplexing. At the receiver end, demultiplexing of logical channels onto the transport channel. Transport channels are nothing but the physical channels which we have already discussed in the module 3, and it provides services to the RLC layer through logical channels. So using logical channels, it provides services to the RLC or radio link control layer and takes the services from the physical layers through transport channels. Okay, these are the main functions of MAC layer. What it do at E node B or your base station is it performs multiplexing and prioritizing various user equipments which are being served by the E node B. So multiplexes onto a common transmitting channel, correct? And prioritizing which user equipment should be provided with a particular radio links. Okay, that it does in the base station end or the transmitter and receiver of your base station. At the user equipment, it performs multiplexing and prioritizing various radio bearers associated with the user equipment. So here user equipment is your mobile phone. In that, the MAC layer functionality is it multiplexes the different radio bearers which we have discussed in the previous lecture. That is X1 is there, S1 is there, S5 radio bearer is there. So prioritizing which bearer has to be allocated which resources is decided by this MAC layer in user equipment. Now the functions of RLC layer. These are the functions of MAC layer. Now let us know what are the functions of RLC layer. It performs segmentation and concatenation on PDCP PDUs based on size defined by the MAC layer. So RLC layer performs the segmentation and concatenation. Either outgoing data it will segment, or incoming data it will concatenate. Okay, they will be delivered to the PDCP or they will be taken from the PDCP layer. PDCP PDUs means packet data convergence protocol packet data units. So protocol data units, PDUs means protocol data units. So the data units generated from the particular protocol are called as protocol data units, and it is done by based on this size defined by MAC layer. Okay, that is the first function. Another function is deorders RLC PDUs. As I told, RLC is radio link control protocol data units. Are if it is received in the order, they will be deordered. So, sorry, if they are received in the out of order, it will be reordered or arranged properly. That is the second function. And this improper reception happens because of hybrid automatic repeat request process in the MAC layer. We will discuss at the end of the lecture what is this HARQ process. Because of this, we may receive out of the order and reordering takes place with the RLC layer. And RLC also supports automatic repeat request mechanism or ARQ mechanism. So these are the functions of RLC layer. Now let us see the data transfer modes of RLC. There are three modes the RLC layer can be operated in, or the entity can be operated in three modes. First one is transparent mode, shortly TM, unacknowledged mode acknowledged mode AM. So let us see one by one now. The transparent mode is the simplest mode where uh, user plain data is not transmitted here, and RLC entity does not add any RLC header to the PDU. So everywhere you might have heard, whenever data passes from one layer to another layer, the entity will add its header so as to indicate its work or whatever the control signaling is there, it has been provided. But here in transparent mode, RLC does not add any header. Okay, no data segmentation or concatenation also happens here. No retransmissions in this particular mode. Then why it is required? It is used in radio resource control broadcast messages, paging messages, which is transferred in RLC layer. So these are some broadcast messages not having much of the importance, and paging messages, as I have indicated, some emergency messages you receive, like somewhere earthquake has happened, you have entered some particular area from your town to, you will move to the second next town. There you will receive signal from that base station. That base station's name or the area will be indicated on your mobile phone. That is the paging message. So in that kind of message transmission, it is not required to have retransmissions and all those adding of header segmentation. It is not required. That's why in transparent mode they have been avoided. Okay, it is the simplest mode. Next one is unacknowledged mode or mode. Here order of delivery is guaranteed. So whatever the data is transferred, it will be definitely delivered. The dedicated traffic channel DTCH logic channels operate in this mode, and RLC entity performs data segmentation and concatenation of RLC service data units. Okay, RLC service data units are without adding protocol, they are called as service data units. These service data units, if lost, there will be no retransmission of the lost PDU or protocol data units. And the example of mode is delay sensitive, error tolerant, and real-time applications like voice over internet protocol. So here in the through internet, when we talk, then unacknowledged mode can be used. We can have the acknowledgement here, guarantee of message delivery, but no retransmission of lost packets is done here. Okay, here the relevant RLC headers are included in the data PDU. At the receiver, RLC entity performs duplicate detection and reordering. At the transmitter end, it performs different functions. At the receiver end, it performs the duplicate detection. Duplicate message is received, then it will discard one, and it does reordering of data in this particular mode. And the last one is the acknowledged mode. Here the difference between mode and AM mode is the request for retransmission of missing PDUs in addition to the mode functionalities. That is the only major difference. Okay, again, this one is also used by error sensitive and delay tolerant applications only. Okay, and the main difference is acknowledgement will be received from the transmitter to the transmitter. So the transmitter will be asked to resend if the data is lost or packets are lost. An AM RLC entity can be configured to deliver receive RLC PDUs through DCCH and DTCH. The another difference is earlier only one logical channel DTCH was used. Now the another logical channel can also be configured to use AM RLC entity. And here an AM RLC entity delivers or receives the AM data. AM means acknowledged mode data, AMD. In short, you can call it as AMD, protocol data unit, and the status PDU indicating the acknowledgement or not acknowledged information of the RLC PDUs. So whenever it transmits the data in this mode, it receives a status protocol data unit indicating acknowledged or not acknowledged. Acknowledged means I have received the signal. Not acknowledged means packet might be lost. That information will be uh, there with AM RLC entity, which is not available in UM RLC. Okay, and when the AM RLC entity needs to retransmit a portion of an AMD PDU, which results from the ARQ process and segmentation, the transmitted PDU is called the AMD PDU segment. That is the name given for retransmitted PDU or protocol data unit. The operation of the AM RLC entity is similar to that of UM RLC entity, except that it supports retransmission of RLC data protocol data units. Okay, that is the difference as we have already discussed. Now the purpose of MAC and RLC layers. This is similar to the functionalities of MAC and RLC layers we have discussed already. The main services, first one is the main services and functions of the RLC sublayer include transfer or receive of PDUs from upper layers, error detection using ARQ, which is possible only in AM mode as we have discussed, concatenation, segmentation and reassembly of RLC SDUs, which is again only possible in UM and AM data transfer modes, because transparent mode does not support this. In sequence delivery of upper layer PDUs, that is also in UM and AM transfer modes. Duplication detection, again UM and AM data transfer modes. RLC SDU discard, that is the duplication of the data is there, means they can discard the not required data units. And RLC re-establishment, radio link control. Because of some reason the link control might have lost, so re-establishment of that will be taken care by the RLC layer. Now the services and functions of MAC sublayer are mapping between logical channels and transport channels, multiplexing, demultiplexing of MAC SDUs, that is service data units belonging to one or more logical channels from the same transport block. So it multiplexes MAC service data units from different logical channels into a same transport channels or transport block. Scheduling for uplink and downlink transmission is the another service given by MAC layer. Error correction through hybrid ARQ process. Priority handling between logical channels of one user equipment or between multiple user equipments by means of dynamic scheduling. Transport format selection, selection of MCS for link adaptation, padding of zeros if the MAC PDU is not fully filled with data. So the frame should be complete. If in the particular data frame you are having some of the empty segments or blocks, then you have to pad it with some data. Obviously it will be easier for us to pad zeros. Okay, that is done by MAC sublayer. The next topic we have is PDU headers and formats. PDU means protocol data unit, headers and formats. First we'll see what is RLC PDU, what RLC PDU formats are there, and next we'll see MAC PDU format. Give me a second. Okay, you can see there are different RLC data PDUs. First one is TMD. TMD means transparent mode data protocol data unit. This in this header format, what we have only data. There are no other fields. That indicates that this is the simplest mode, and you will not require any other control information like segmentation, multiplexing, demultiplexing. All those things are not required here. Sorry, the error detection and response to that retransmission, all those things are not required here. When it comes to UMD, you will have different fields like FI, E, SN, E, LI. Again, it continues like this, and finally you will have data. Next, when it comes to AMD PDU or acknowledged mode data protocol data unit, D bar C, RF, P, PI, E, SN, E, LI. These are the different fields as compared to the UMD. What is the difference between UMD and AMD? Here in AMD, we are going to have retransmission of data, but here no retransmission of data or the lost packets. Okay, and AMD PDU segment. This is when you have lost the packets, then the lost packets are transmitted along with the present packets to be transmitted in this way. If these are the lost packets, they are put along with the next data stream, okay, which is to be transmitted. So this is about the formats of RLC data PDUs. So a few fields we'll see. What are these fields? First one is FI. In this UMD you can see FI field, which is framing info field. Framing info field. The framing info field indicates whether the RLC SDU is segmented at the beginning or at the end of the data field. Okay. Next one is length indicator field. The length indicator field indicates length in bytes of the corresponding data field elements present in the UMD or AMD protocol data unit. So what is the length of data in bytes is indicated by this LI field. Extension bit or E field indicates whether data field follows or a set of E field and LI fields follows. E field indicates whether you are going to get number of data fields you are going to get whether it is going to be a data field or E and Li fields, indicating that is retransmission of data. Okay, and the last one we can see is SN field, which is sequence number field corresponding, indicating the corresponding UMD or AMD PDU. What is the packet data, protocol data units number, whether it is first protocol data unit or the second protocol data unit or third one in the particular mode of operation, that is indicated. And it indicates, let me give some time. Here the SN field consists of 10 bits for AMD PDU, AMD PDU segments and status PDUs. For these PDUs, it will contain 10 bits, and 5 bits or 10 bits for UMD PDU, or in unacknowledged mode transfer of data. It indicates the sequence number using either 10 bits or 5 bits, but in acknowledged mode data transfer, it always uses 10 bits of information for sequence numbering. Okay. The last one in this particular topic is MAC PDU formats. So in MAC layer, it receives the data from RLC as MAC SDUs, that is MAC service data units, and passes the MAC protocol data units to the physical layers. So you can see the transformation. The received data from RLC is named as MAC status data service data units, and they are now modified in the MAC layer such that they are called as MAC protocol data units, and they will be given to the physical layer for further action. Now let us see the example of MAC PDU. Here you can see there are two fields in MAC PDU or MAC protocol data unit. One is MAC header, another one is MAC payload. MAC header, one particular MAC header may consist of several MAC subheaders. Okay, several MAC subheaders will be there in one particular MAC header. And MAC payload, or the actual data, it can have either MAC control elements numbered from 1 to M, and MAC service data units, or data you can say, from 1 to N. And if the particular frame is not complete, then padding of the bit sequence will be followed after the MAC SDUs. Okay, this is the format of MAC PDU. It contains MAC header, which may contain again multiple subheaders, and MAC payload is the another segment where you can have MAC control elements, MAC SDUs, and padding space if MAC SDUs are not filling complete frame. Okay. So that is what has been explained over here. And next, let me see an example of MAC subheader. Here it is, right? MAC subheader. The fields in this MAC subheader are R, R, E, LCID, F, and L. So let us go through what are these fields. First one is R. It is reserved field and set to 0 always. So two reserved fields are there. They can be used for some different functionality. Next one is E. It is an extension field to indicate the presence of more fields in the MAC header. If E is equal to 1, set of RRE LCID fields follows. If E is equal to 0, either MAC SDU or MAC control element or padding follows. So it indicates what kind of information is going to be the next sequence. Okay. Next is LCID, logical channel ID. It indicates the logical channel instance of the corresponding MAC SDU or the type of corresponding MAC control element or padding. So which logical channel being used, the ID of particular channel is indicated in this particular field. Next one is F field. It indicates the size of the length field. It indicates the size of the particular length field, that is how much data unit is there, whether it is greater than 128 bytes or lesser than 128 bytes, that it indicates. It does not indicate how many bytes of information is there in the particular SDU which is going to come next. Okay, but it only indicates what is the number of whether it is higher than 128 bytes or lesser than 128 bytes. If F is equal to 0, then size of MAC SDU or MAC control element will be lesser than 128 bytes. If F is not equal to 0, that means it obviously it will be 1. Then size of MAC unit or MAC control element will be greater than 128 bytes. Next is L. L field indicates the actual length. In less than 128 bytes means how many bytes of corresponding MAC PD or MAC control element is indicated by L field. It might be like 127 bytes or it might be like 144 bytes. That is indicated over here. But at here, F is equal to either 0 or 1, indicating whether it is the data packet size is 128 bytes, lesser than 128 byte or greater than 128 bytes. Okay, these are the different fields of subheader of MAC layer. Okay. Yes. And the last topic we have is ARQ procedures. Here LT applies two-layer retransmission scheme. One is HARQ protocol, another one is selective repeat ARQ protocol. HARQ means hybrid ARQ. You already know ARQ means automatic retransmission or repeat request. It is a low latency and low overhead feedback protocol in the MAC layer. It is responsible for handling transmission errors by retransmissions based on HARQ processes. HARQ is the use of conventional ARQ along with the error correction technique called soft combining. In soft combining, data packets that are not properly decoded are not discarded. Instead, they are stored in a buffer and will be combined with next retransmission. Two or more packets received, each one with insufficient SNR, to allow individual decoding can be combined in such a way that the total signal can be decoded. So here in soft combining, one is the data packets that are not properly decoded are not discarded. Instead, they are stored in the buffer and they will be combined with the next retransmission. Again, two or more packets received, each one with insufficient SNR, so as to when more packets are received in such a way, then we can combine those and individual decoding can be done. Okay, that is about HARQ protocol. And the another protocol is selective repeat ARQ protocol. It is a RLC layer protocol to correct residual HARQ errors due to the error in HARQ acknowledgement feedback. Okay, this is like a backbone support for HARQ protocol. If this fails, then selective repeat ARQ protocol comes into picture, and the some error is there in the feedback. If that feedback is also not received, then this will be used to uh, get the feedback from the receiver, and retransmission will take place. The latency with RLC ARQ is high, and it is used in only AM or acknowledged mode transfer of data. Okay, and ARQ NAK, that is not acknowledged, is received by status PDU or HARQ delivery failure notification. Okay, here the not delivery of HARQ delivery failure notification is also received. That is second acknowledgement. If one acknowledgement is failed, that failure message, whether the acknowledgement is failed or success, will be received. Based on that, the next action will be taken for retransmission or the data this one, the data retransmission. Okay, so this is all about MAC layer and RLC layer. Okay, in the next lecture we will discuss about RRC sublayer and the mobility management. Okay.